the Israel and the Hezbollah is concerned. Now, viewers, let's also move on as the tensions. Israel Defense Ministers Yoav Gallant have stated that Israel's military operations against Hezbollah would persist. Gallant, in a statement, has stated that from his office that in the new phase of the war, there are significant opportunities but also significant amount of risk. Hezbollah felt that persecuted the sequence of our military actions will continue. This comes after the intense barrage followed attacks earlier this week attributed by Lebanon and Hezbollah to Israel that blew up Hezbollah's radios and pagers, killing 37 people and wounding about 3,000 in Lebanon. All right, joining me back on the broadcast is my guest, Major A.K. Sawaj, who is joining us once again on the broadcast. So what we can understand as of now is that, the defense minister has also made a statement at this point of time of Israel. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant has said that, the attacks in the new phase of the war are going to be very crucial and they are going to be continued as there are also equal amount of risk involved. He also said that Hezbollah feels persecuted and the sequence of the military actions is going to be continued. What are your first thoughts and how can we understand this conflict at this given point of time better in a way that there is in fact some sort of relief that's in sight?
You see, Simran, no doubt. As far as Gaza is concerned, Hamas military capability has reduced only to 20 to 30% now left, and 70% has been already been blunted. Now the threat is from Hezbollah as far as Israel is concerned. And Israel is feeling that if they leave Hezbollah now intact, Hezbollah is going to become a big problem in time to come. And the same scenario, what has happened is that Hezbollah has been also targeting the northern portion of Israel. And there are about 50 to 60,000 people which have been displaced. And Israel is very keen, they must go back. So therefore, the point is that Israel focus is now shifted from Gaza to Lebanon. And that is, Israel is going to target Hezbollah, and it wants that clash to take place between Israel and Hezbollah, so that Hezbollah is no more a threat to them for another 5 to 6 years by blunting their military capability. Now, this is the thought process of Israel, and that's what the Defense Minister Gallant is saying. But there is a bigger, what he is saying, that it can bounce back also. Why it can bounce back? You see, if there is a clash between Israel and now Hezbollah, there is a chances of this war becoming a broader. It may now involve Iran coming into it. It is Houthi rebel is already there. Then their militia in Syria and Iraq can come. It can become a regional war. So that is the danger which is there, that in case if we take a full-blown war between Israel and Hezbollah, the chances of the war then escalating into a regional war very high. And that is the danger. But will Netanyahu leave the war here and try to negotiate with Hamas for any ceasefire? I don't think so. As on today, any ceasefire between Hamas and Israel doesn't seem to be possible. It will be a full-fledged war which will take place between Israel and Hezbollah. Israel, Netanyahu does not want peace now, because the moment there is a peace, he is vulnerable as far as domestic compulsions are concerned. There is an election which is taking place in America in November of the president. That is also there. America is keen some sort of ceasefire take place. But I don't think it is going to take place. It will only escalate, and Israel has made up its mind that it will ensure that Hezbollah do not put a sort of threat to them in future. And that can only happen by blunting and by attacking basically Hezbollah with multi-pronged strategy. One strategy they have displayed as to how they can use cyber warfare by targeting even including civilians and the military person. Now they have a capability of launching attacks, physical attacks by ground as well as by rockets and missiles. It has a capability. But at the same time, one must not forget Hezbollah is not as weak as Hamas. Hezbollah is 4 to 5 times more powerful than Hamas. It is a bigger proxy of Iran. It is a Shia militia, and it will bounce back. So the war becoming a regional war is possibility, and that is the threat which is now looming large. Another point, Simran, what we learned from what has happened in last about 2 3 days, as far as the pagers and walkie-talkie detonated remotely, is a part of cyber warfare, and we have to be very, very careful on our northern border and western border. The Chinese is very, very, advanced in cyber warfare. Majority of the, electronic items we are getting from China, whether it is laptop or mobile phone, they can also be hacked, and we have to be very careful. Our electronic countermeasure and electronic countermeasure, which our defense forces are very well prepared, we will ensure that they are not successful. But in time to come, the cyber warfare will become a weapon which will be utilized by all the forces, and we have to learn lesson. It is something like what drone came, and drone had changed the complete complex of warfare. The mechanized warfare is now become a subordinate to drones. Azerbaijan winning Armenia is basically due to the drone warfare. And now, until unless you don't find anti-drone strategy, drone root the roof. And same way, the cyber warfare, the way the display done by the Israel has opened a new era of warfare in the whole world. And I think the military pundits have to learn the lessons, and especially a country like India, which has got two large enemy, both on the northern and western
All
border.
right.
We learn
All right,
lesson
Major
and
General
take account.
Kisawach. Of course, there are all eyes on the developments that are continued to be tracked from the borders of these two parts which are into a conflict, and Hezbollah chief has, of course, declared a full